Welcome to Nighttime Science, where we drift through the universe of knowledge, one calm story at a time. Let your mind wander, and your eyes grow heavy. The dawn of wonder. Before we built telescopes or mapped the galaxies, we gathered around simple fires. Close your eyes and imagine that you are there. A flicker of warmth in an endless night. It is thousands of years ago. Your tribe moves with the seasons. You've hunted, gathered berries, made your shelter for the night. Now, the fire pops and sighs while the darkness presses close. Above you, the sky is a deep bowl, scattered with more stars than you could ever count. They feel closer now than they ever will again. You can smell the smoke, earthy, sharp. You can feel the gentle warmth on your face. The air behind you is cold, but the fire keeps you safe. Beside you sits an elder, a weaver of stories. They lean in, eyes reflecting starlight, and point upward. See there? That bright one? That is the eye of the sky hunter. He watches over us when the wolves circle. He is strong enough to see everything we do. You tilt your head back, eyes wide. The stars swirl. In that moment, the universe has edges, the horizon of your tiny camp, but your mind stretches far beyond it. You listen. You wonder. In these early nights, the sky was not just decoration. It was map, myth, warning, promise. A record of things you could not write down, so you sang them instead. You carved them into bones, painted them on cave walls. You whispered them to your children. Every flicker of flame was a mirror of the stars above. Fire below, fire above. A reminder that warmth and light can survive the dark. Tonight you are that early dreamer. You lean closer to the fire. You feel the soft drum of your heartbeat. You hear the hush of the wind, the crackle of branches, the low voice of your ancestor weaving constellations in your mind. Somewhere in the forest, a wolf howls. The elder's voice does not tremble. The eye sees them too. They are hungry, but they will not come close tonight. They know we are watched by the hunter above. The tribe shifts closer to the flames. A mother hums to her child. A father adds another log. The sparks drift upward like tiny souls, joining the stars that inspired them. Myth as map. Generations pass. The fire remains. Now you are another dreamer, thousands of years later, on a grassy plain under a different sky. You know more stories now, how the lion hunts the gazelle across the sky. How the twins guard the path of travelers. How the scorpion marks the season when rivers rise and crops grow tall. You sit with your people. Your hair is braided with beads that click together when you move. The children giggle. They see a rabbit in the moon's face. The elders nod, yes, the rabbit brings luck. Each dot of light becomes a landmark, a way to find your way home when the land looks the same in every direction. Your mind drifts with the constellations. You trace lines between them with your finger. Stories become maps. Maps become memory. The stars do not change quickly. They are patient teachers. Every night you look up, they wait for you. You learn that when the bright hunter rises, it is time to move camp. The gazelles are on the move too. When the Pleiades rise, the rains will follow. The sky is your calendar, your compass, your family storybook. It never sleeps, and so you dream with it. Stone and sky. Thousands more years pass. Humans have begun to settle, to build. You are one of them now. Your feet stand on the cold stone of a sacred place, Stonehenge, Newgrange, Chaco Canyon. It is winter. Your people gather at dawn, breath fogging the air. You wait in silence. The sun creeps toward the horizon. Generations before you dragged these stones for miles, dug the pits, measured the sky, and set the great pillars so that on this day, the first rays of sunlight would pour through in a perfect line. The The sun's light touches your face. You feel the warmth, the hope. A promise, the long dark is ending. Spring will return. All around you, your people murmur prayers. Someone drums softly. Children run between the stones, playing in the shadows of these ancient calendars. You wonder what the stars whisper to them when they dream. Stone records what the mind cannot hold alone, the slow turning of the heavens, etched in cold rock. Skywatchers and seers. You are in Babylon now, the cradle of recorded astronomy. You sit under a mud-brick ziggurat, clay tablets spread around you. You dip a reed stylus in ink, carving tiny wedge-shaped marks. Venus appears before dawn. You mark its position. You write down when it reappears after sunset. Night after night you watch. Year after year, you find the patterns. Planets wander. That is why the Greeks would later call them planets, the wanderers. Your scribbled numbers whisper to the future, eclipses, comets, new stars that blaze and fade. The ancient Chinese skywatchers will do the same. Thousands of miles away, they record guest stars in their scrolls, noting supernovae we still study today. In Mayan temples, priests chart the moon's dance, predicting its shadows on the sun. They build pyramids that catch the light at perfect angles, stone calendars that count centuries. You are one of them all, watching, wondering. Memory to map. From memory to clay to scroll to ink and parchment, the sky is passed down like a secret recipe. Hipparchus and Ptolemy plot the stars. Their maps travel by ship and camel. Greek words slip into Arabic. Arabic slips into Latin. The names remain: Aldebaran, Rigel, Betelgeuse. Each new generation lifts its eyes and sees what the old ones saw, yet they add something new. A comet here. A new star there. A deeper understanding, yet always the same wonder. You, too, are a link in this chain. You do not need clay tablets or parchment. The stars live inside you, unchanged by the passing centuries. The night within. Tonight, the sky is not only above you, it is within you. Your mind, like the first fires, flickers with questions. Where did we come from? Why are we here? Where does it end? The constellations shift with your breath. The myths echo your heartbeat. You close your eyes, and the darkness behind your eyelids is speckled with light, an inner galaxy only you can see. You are the ancient dreamer. The wanderer, the storyteller, the skywatcher. The stones, the fire, the myths, all live in you. Breathe in, feel the cool night air. Breathe out, watch the stars flicker and drift. The gentle drift. The fire fades to embers. The stories soften into a lullaby. You are safe beneath the vault of stars. The eye of the sky hunter still watches over you. You drift back through time, through fires and stones and stories, through your own memories, to a place where questions become dreams. Sleep now, ancient stargazer. The journey has only begun. Mapping the heavens. A new kind of watching. Imagine yourself in Alexandria, Egypt, more than 2,000 years ago. The air is warm, heavy with salt from the sea. The greatest library the world has ever known rises near the harbor. Its scrolls hold the stories of the world. But you stand on the roof at night. The city sleeps, but your mind is awake. A small oil lamp flickers beside you, casting your shadow across delicate instruments, armillary spheres, measuring rods, polished bronze mirrors. You are a skywatcher, like the ones who came before you. But now you want more than stories. You want numbers, angles, proofs. You lift a sighting rod to your eye, tracing the arc of the moon as it drifts above the lighthouse. You note its position in your wax tablet. You compare it to the night before. And the night before that. Night after night you see patterns emerge. The moon's path loops back, but never quite the same. The planets wander backward then forward again. The stars shift slowly, like dancers repeating an ancient choreography. This is the dawn of astronomy as we know it. Still story, but now a story tested by measurement. Your mind drifts to the great minds who have walked these same marble streets. Hipparchus, charting eclipses. Eratosthenes, measuring the Earth's curve with shadows cast by the sun. Aristarchus, daring to whisper that maybe, just maybe, the Earth moves around the sun, not the other way around. Each idea a fragile spark. Each spark feeding the next. As you write by lamplight, you are no longer only a dreamer. You are a mapper of the heavens. The Almagest. Centuries flow like the Nile. Empires rise, libraries burn, and yet the sky remains. Now you sit in the warm hush of a Greek study. Outside, cicadas hum in the olive groves. Inside, you copy a great work by hand, the Almagest. Ptolemy's masterpiece. The ink smells sharp. The parchment crinkles under your palm. Every symbol you copy is a bridge to the stars. You pause, tracing your finger over the circle of the epicycle. Planets looping on small wheels within wheels to explain their wandering paths. Is it true? Is it right? For now, it is the best map you have. You look up from your scroll, out the open window, to the stars above the hills. In your mind, they swirl in crystal spheres, the perfect, ordered heavens. They move with the logic of geometry, the grace of divine design. Each star has its place. Each planet its path. It is not perfect. But it is something humans can hold in their minds, written in ink and parchment, copied from Alexandria to Baghdad to Cordoba to Paris. A map that connects dreamers across centuries. Star names that travel. You drift forward through time. Caravans cross deserts, laden with spices and scrolls. Sailors steer by the North Star, Polaris, steadfast guide. Arabic astronomers stand on desert observatories, peering at the same constellations the Babylonians watched. They give new names, new measurements. Aldebaran, the follower. Rigel, the foot of the giant. Betelgeuse, the red star burning in Orion's shoulder. You whisper these names like poetry, letting them roll off your tongue. They are ancient words, yet they still guide ships across stormy seas, still inspire poets to rhyme the sky into verse. A single name can cross centuries, scribbled in Greek, recited in Arabic, printed in Latin, broadcast in modern stargazing apps. Aldebaran shines on, unchanged, while empires rise and crumble beneath its gaze. Shadows in the curve. Now you find yourself in Syene, southern Egypt. It is high noon on the longest day of the year. You hold a simple stick, a gnomon, and watch its shadow shrink. In Alexandria, far to the north, your friend does the same. Eratosthenes will compare these shadows. He will calculate the Earth's curve, the first to measure our planet's size with a stick, a well, and sunlight. The numbers are remarkably close. No ships needed to sail the edge. No monsters at the brink. Just math, shadows, and patient minds. The universe grows larger, yet more familiar. It is not infinite yet, but it has no abrupt cliff to fall from. Only gentle curves, soft horizons. Sailors and the North Star. Imagine the hush of the open sea, wind flapping canvas, waves lapping wood. You stand barefoot on the deck of a creaking ship, salt crusting your hair. It is midnight, but you do not fear the darkness. Overhead, the North Star hangs steady, your lighthouse in the void. You are a Polynesian navigator, far before compasses or modern maps. You remember every cluster of stars, every shift in their dance, every subtle tilt of the moon. Your mind is a living map. You sail thousands of miles, island to island, guided only by the stars and your memory of their songs. In Europe, Viking sailors do the same, steering by Polaris to raid and trade along frozen shores. Each night you drift from sleep to waking, eyes open to the sky. Clouds may cover your path, storms may rise, but when the sky clears, the North Star remains. It has no legs, yet it walks with you. No voice, yet it whispers, you are not lost. The sky is your compass. The stars will bring you home. Towers and domes. The centuries turn again. You are no longer on a ship, but in a vast, dry city, under a desert moon. Baghdad, Samarkand, Jaipur. You stand in the courtyard of an observatory, not made of delicate brass instruments, but of giant stone walls and towering sextants carved into the earth itself. Jai Singh's Jantar Mantar rises in the pale starlight, vast marble arcs, angled staircases that measure the tilt of the sky. In Samarkand, Ulugh Beg, a Timurid prince, spends his nights charting the heavens instead of waging wars. He builds a giant meridian arc, peering into the night to record the paths of planets with more precision than any before. You stand beside these ancient skywatchers. Their robes brush your arm as they squint through tiny sighting holes, aligning strings with stars, marking down the position of Jupiter as it crawls across the velvet dome. Ink stains their fingertips, ancient astronomers with eyes bloodshot from staring at eternity. They do not dream small. They know they are part of something vaster than any empire. And so they measure, record, pass it on. One century's knowledge becomes the next century's foundation. When the scrolls are lost, the stars remain. And so the questions, too, remain, soft as a whisper under your blanket tonight. The dawn of glass. Now you are in Renaissance Italy. The sea winds of Venice carry rumors of a new invention, glass lenses that magnify distant things. Merchants sell them to sailors to spot ships on the horizon, but a few restless minds see something greater. Galileo lifts his handmade telescope to the sky. His hands tremble. Through the tiny tube, he sees what no human has seen so clearly before. The moon, not smooth and perfect, but cratered, scarred, alive with shadow. Jupiter, not alone, but circled by tiny dancing moons. Venus, showing phases like the moon itself. He scribbles what he sees. He writes letters to princes and popes. He dares to say, we are not the center. The sky is not a perfect, polished clockwork. It is wild, full of motion, full of wonder. You stand beside him, peering through that tube. The universe feels bigger now, and your place in it smaller. Yet somehow this does not make you afraid. It makes you dream. The first star catalogs. Word spreads across Europe like fire. Telescopes sprout in gardens and towers. New astronomers, new maps. Tycho Brahe charts the stars with the naked eye, his nose a patchwork of brass after a duel gone wrong. Johannes Kepler inherits Tycho's mountain of numbers. From it, he teases out the laws of planetary motion, describing the elliptical paths that sweep through the heavens. In Denmark, an astronomer watches a new star, a supernova that burns so bright, it outshines all others. The universe is not fixed. It is alive, birthing and devouring stars. You lie in your bed now, far from Tycho's castle. But in your mind you hold those numbers. The moons dance, the planets loops, the galaxies not yet imagined. These first catalogs are fragile, quills on parchment, ink that fades. But they are enough to seed a revolution. The sky is no longer just stories. It is a map. And every human who looks up is now an explorer. The gentle drift. Let the centuries swirl around you like stardust. Ancient fires. Stone calendars. Armillary spheres. Ship decks soaked in salt spray. Domes that scrape the heavens. Telescopes like tiny eyes pointed at infinity. You are all of them. You are none of them. You are here, wrapped in a blanket, your breath rising and falling like the tide of time. Tonight you hold their questions in your heartbeat. Where does it end? What lies beyond? There is no final map, only the soft edge where wonder lives. Drift now. You are stardust remembering the way home. The age of telescopes and the expanding sky. Glass to the stars. You stand in a candlelit study, the scent of ink and old books heavy in the air. Outside, the Italian night blooms with the hum of crickets. Above, the moon hangs round and full, as it always has, yet tonight, it is about to change. You hold in your hands a simple tube. Not much to look at, a few ground lenses set inside a wooden barrel. But when you lift it to your eye, the universe shifts. Galileo Galilei's breath catches, and yours does too. Through that tiny tube, the moon is no longer smooth and perfect but rough, pitted, scarred. A cold, rocky neighbor, not a flawless celestial sphere but a world. You move the tube, trembling, to Jupiter. What you see there stops your heart, tiny lights beside the giant planet. Night after night they shift, dance, reappear on the other side. Moons. Worlds orbiting a world. Proof that not everything revolves around Earth. The Earth is not the unmoving throne of the cosmos. You, human, small, wondering, are not its center. You lower the telescope. The night feels bigger, and you, wonderfully smaller. A revolution begins. The news spreads on ink-stained pamphlets, whispered in taverns, debated in candlelit halls. Some denounce him. Some excommunicate him. But the idea cannot be put back in the bottle. Telescopes bloom across Europe, clumsy glass tubes lifted to the night sky by restless hands. In Denmark, Tycho Brahe's legacy merges with Johannes Kepler's equations. Planets do not move in perfect circles but elegant ellipses, sweeping out cosmic patterns like dancers in an endless ballroom. In England, Isaac Newton sits beneath an apple tree, not struck by a falling fruit so much as struck by a question: what holds the moon in its path? What ties us to the sun? Gravity. An invisible thread pull. Everything together, from the apple in your hand to the distant stars. You lie back in your bed tonight and feel it too, the quiet pull of your own weight pressing you into your blankets, holding you safe, held by the same force that keeps planets in their paths. A single, soft, universal embrace. Herschel and the star fields. Now drift to England, 1781. The air is damp, the night crisp with frost. In the garden behind a modest house stands a strange shape, a giant tube, brass and wood, mounted on gears and pulleys. William Herschel, once a musician, now peers into the sky through his homemade giant. He does not just gaze, he counts. Star by star, sweep by sweep, he maps the shape of the Milky Way. Not a handful of pinpricks, but an island of stars, millions strong, drifting in darkness. Through his lens he finds something more, a new planet. Uranus, the first discovered by telescope, invisible to the naked eye all those centuries before. Beyond Saturn's pale ring lies yet another world. And beyond that, more? Each new discovery is a key turned in a lock, a door swung open. The universe expands. The earth shrinks. Wonder grows. Nebulae and the spiral dream. Some fuzzy smudges refuse to resolve into single stars. Herschel sees them, sketches their shapes, faint clouds, delicate spirals, strange blobs drifting at the edge of darkness. Are they gas clouds? Star nurseries? Or entire island universes? No one knows yet. The glass is not strong enough. The light too dim. So the question drifts, like a soft dream, waiting for better eyes. You lie under your covers now, imagining those spirals, delicate galaxies waiting to be named. You wonder, is each swirl a place like ours? Are there other Earths? Other minds dreaming under other moons? Infinity curls around your thoughts like a gentle blanket. The giants of glass. As centuries turn, telescopes grow, from garden tubes to vast metal monsters. In the 1800s, the Leviathan of Parsonstown rises in the Irish countryside, a giant reflector, 6 feet across, pointed toward the stars. In the cold of night, astronomers climb ladders like ship rigging, balancing on beams as they peer into the depths. For the first time, they see spiral structure. Those fuzzy smudges, not clouds at all, but swirling galaxies far beyond our own. Each new glass giant pushes the horizon back, not by inches but by millions of light years. You feel the distance stretch, and yet your breath stays calm. You are small, but you belong here. Hubble's deep gaze. Now you stand in California, on Mount Wilson. The night air is thin and biting cold. Edwin Hubble peers through the 100-inch Hooker telescope, the largest of its age. He measures the light from Andromeda, that faint smudge just beyond our Milky Way. The numbers whisper something astonishing. Andromeda is not a nearby gas cloud. It is another galaxy, millions of light years away. Not only that, every galaxy he measures drifts away, the space between them stretching like dough rising in an oven. The universe is not static. It expands. It grows endlessly. You drift with it. Imagine yourself a mote of dust caught in that expansion, carried ever outward by the breath of the cosmos. No walls. No edge. Only the hush of distance, the promise of forever. The gentle drift. Now the telescopes orbit Earth itself. The Hubble Space Telescope hums silently above our atmosphere, peering deeper than any lens before. It sees the deep field, a patch of sky no bigger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. Thousands of galaxies bloom in that tiny speck, each one an island of billions of stars, drifting in the ink-black sea. You close your eyes and hold that grain of sky in your mind. If so much wonder hides in so small a patch, what waits beyond? Tonight you drift through lenses and mirrors, through glass and equations, through star counts and galaxy spirals. The age of telescopes is not done, it is only just beginning. Each new eye we build lifts the veil a little higher. And still, the question remains, where does it end? The cosmic web, patterns in the infinite. Patterns in the night. Imagine you stand far from any city, out in the desert, the air crisp and silent. Above you, the Milky Way spills across the sky like milk poured across velvet. It is so dark that the stars look like grains of salt scattered by an ancient hand. For most of history, we thought the stars were scattered randomly, pinpricks on a vast black curtain. But the deeper we looked, the more we found patterns within patterns. Galaxies cluster together. Some swirl in tight groups, pulling each other in an endless gravitational dance. Others drift alone in the void, a lone candle flickering in the dark. When you trace these clusters, a shape begins to emerge, like frost crystals on a window pane, or the delicate veins in a leaf. The universe is not a chaotic mess. It is a web, vast strands of galaxies and dark matter stretching across cosmic gulfs, weaving a structure so enormous that it humbles the mind. And you, so small, so brief, stand beneath it all, connected by unseen threads. The shadow threads. How do you see something you cannot see? This is the question that haunts every astronomer who gazes into the cosmic web. They measure the way galaxies spin. They see how light bends as it travels across the vastness. They find gaps where nothing shines, yet something tugs, pulls, shapes the dance of stars. We call it dark matter, a ghostly presence that neither reflects nor emits light. It does not shine, yet it holds galaxies together, stopping them from tearing themselves apart with their own speed. You close your eyes and imagine it, invisible threads binding every star, every planet, every atom in your body. A net so vast that it cradles all you know, yet soft enough to drift through. You without you ever feeling its touch. Tonight, while you rest, dark matter weaves you into the story of the stars. The cosmic foam. The deeper we peer, the more this web takes shape. Imagine a bubble bath frozen in space. Clusters of galaxies forming the thick walls, enormous voids stretching between them like soap bubbles. This is the cosmic foam, the large-scale structure of the universe. Filaments of galaxies twist for millions of light years, threading together clusters like beads on an endless string. Between these filaments are the voids, lonely expanses where not a single star flickers. If you could fly outward at impossible speed, you would see it. A vast sponge of galaxies, dark matter, and gas. A web so huge that our entire Milky Way would be just a tiny dot on a single strand. Yet here you are, a dreamer under a warm blanket, your mind big enough to hold it all. Gravitational lenses. Sometimes the hidden reveals itself through light's own bend. A distant quasar shines billions of light years away, its light passing through the invisible web. Gravity bends light like glass bends water. A massive cluster of dark matter becomes a lens, warping the glow behind it into arcs and halos. Astronomers call this gravitational lensing. Through it, we glimpse dark matter's fingerprints, ghostly shadows carved in bent starlight. Imagine looking up tonight and seeing stars curved into rings, the universe itself acting as its own telescope, showing you what cannot be seen directly. Every ripple in that lens tells a story, of mass, of motion, of the deep structures that cradle existence. Echoes of the beginning. All of this, the cosmic web, the dark matter, the vast filaments, it all began with the faintest ripples. After the Big Bang, the infant universe was nearly uniform, but tiny quantum fluctuations left seeds, wrinkles in the fabric of space-time. These wrinkles grew, tugged by gravity, forming clouds that collapsed into galaxies, stars, planets, and you. Scientists still listen for these echoes. The cosmic microwave background, a soft hiss of ancient light that hums through the night sky. Close your eyes. Listen for it, the hush that whispers that you, too, are woven from ancient ripples. Dark energy and the great stretch. If dark matter binds the web, dark energy pulls it apart. In the late 20th century, astronomers expected the universe's expansion to slow, gravity pulling galaxies back like elastic. But when they measured distant supernovae, they found the opposite. The universe is not slowing down. It's speeding up. Something pushes galaxies apart, faster and faster, stretching the web ever thinner. Dark energy, a name for something we barely understand. A gentle, relentless breath that inflates the cosmic web. You drift tonight on that breath, floating outward with the galaxies, carried on an expansion that may never end. The gentle drift. Tonight you lie beneath this hidden web, a tiny node in an endless net. You are held by gravity, shaped by dark matter, carried by dark energy. You are stardust, woven into filaments that span billions of light years. And when you close your eyes, you become the web itself, a quiet pattern in the infinite, drifting ever outward. Rest now. The universe expands, but your dreams are always connected, held by the same gentle threads that bind the galaxies. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are part of the cosmic web. Beyond the edge, multiverses and infinite possibility. Looking for the edge. Ambient, a quiet hum, like wind sweeping across snow. A heartbeat slow and steady, echoing your own. Somewhere, the distant hush of waves on an unseen shore. Imagine standing on the highest mountain, under the clearest sky, with the best telescope ever built. You lean forward, peering deeper than anyone before. Galaxies bloom like fireflies, drifting away, the darkness behind them stretching farther and farther. But does it stop? Astronomers tell us there is no edge, not like the edge of a table or the rim of a cliff. Space curves back on itself, expands into itself, stretches without a final wall. Like the surface of a sphere, you could travel forever, always forward, never falling off. You drift in this idea, an endless loop, a horizon that always slips just beyond your grasp. And in that endlessness, your mind feels light, free to roam. The bubble universes. But what if our universe is just one bubble in a sea of bubbles? Some theories say the Big Bang was not a single spark, but one of many, each inflation birthing its own pocket universe. Each bubble could drift near another, some colliding, some forever apart. In one bubble, the laws of physics bend a little differently, gravity stronger, stars larger, no life at all. In another, perhaps stars never form, just endless hydrogen drifting in darkness. And in yet another, perhaps, there is a world like yours, with a version of you lying awake, wondering the same question. Am I alone? You breathe out, releasing the thought like a tiny soap bubble. It drifts, joins a sea of bubbles that float forever. Quantum many worlds. The quantum world whispers stranger stories still. In the smallest spaces, particles can be in two places at once, spin left and right, exist and not exist, until we look. Some physicists believe each quantum choice splits the world, every decision, every possibility, every yes or no. You turn left instead of right. You choose tea instead of coffee. You stay instead of go. Somewhere, in some other branch, another version of you walks the path you did not take. An infinite tree of moments, splitting forever, a fractal of you, dreaming a billion dreams. Tonight you lie in just one branch, but all the others hum like echoes under your pillow. Cosmic inflation, the never-ending birth. The Big Bang is not a firework exploding into empty space. It is space itself expanding, faster than light. In some theories, inflation never fully stops, always spawning new bubbles, new universes, new beginnings. Eternal inflation, the great cosmic garden, forever blooming. Somewhere, even now, a new universe flickers into existence. It swells with its own galaxies, its own cosmic web, its own dreamers who will one day look up and wonder, does it ever end? Your breath joins that expansion, a soft yes, a soft no, a soft maybe. The shadow of nothing. Some thinkers ask, if the universe can come from nothing, what does nothing even mean? True nothingness, not empty space, but the absence of space itself, might be unstable. It may ripple, birthing something from its own restlessness. Energy flickers into existence, space expands, time begins to tick. From nothing, everything. You hold that paradox in your chest. You, a being made of ancient stardust, cradling the memory of nothing. Does it frighten you? Or does it soothe you, knowing that existence itself is a gentle possibility, woven from the silence between thoughts? Other laws, other dreams. What are the other universes like? Some may be sterile, no stars, no light, just endless cold. Others may be violent, collapsing as soon as they're born. And yet somewhere, perhaps, some bloom like ours, galaxies swirl, suns burn, planets cradle life. Maybe life so different we cannot even imagine. Or maybe, impossibly, another Earth spins under another sun, with oceans and forests and people who dream under a blanket of stars. You drift toward them in your mind, your cousins of possibility, waving across an unbridgeable distance. The gentle drift. What comfort does infinity offer? It tells you that your smallness is beautiful, your life, a bright spark in a boundless sea of sparks. You are not an accident. You are a ripple in a vast, playful ocean, an echo of a dream the universe never stops dreaming. Tonight you breathe softly. Your mind drifts through bubbles, branches, ripples, and shadows. Where does it end? Perhaps it never does. Perhaps it folds back, weaving new stories forever. And here, in your own corner of infinity you rest, a tiny universe, complete and endless in its own way. Time without end, the fate of everything. A glimpse of tomorrow. Close your eyes and imagine the earth spinning on, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. In a few billion years the sun will grow old. It will swell, bloated and red, until its light scorches the earth's seas and melts the mountains to glass. But tonight, that feels far away. A gentle reminder, stars are born, live, and die, just as people do. Just as thoughts do. It is not an ending to fear. It is a transformation. In your mind's eye, watch the sun shrink at last into a tiny ember, a white dwarf, glowing faintly in the dark. A galaxy ages. Lift your eyes beyond the sun, to the Milky Way itself. Our spiral swirls with hundreds of billions of stars, each on its own journey. In time, stars grow scarce. The raw material for new ones dwindles. The great spiral arms fade, replaced by a slow, quiet dusk. In 4 billion years or so, our galaxy will drift into another, Andromeda, drawn by gravity's soft pull. When they collide, the stars themselves will mostly pass like ghosts through ghosts. But clouds of gas will crash together, sparking new suns one final time. A gentle encore before the long hush. The era of degenerate stars. Now let your thoughts drift trillions of years ahead, yes, trillions. No new stars are born. The last bright giants flicker out. What remains are red dwarfs, slow burning embers that outlast the rest. One by one, even these wink out. The universe grows colder, quieter. White dwarfs cool to black dwarfs, cinders in the cosmic fireplace. Black holes drift through the void like ghosts. Dead planets, frozen and dark, orbit the shadows of what once was. But you, dreamer under your blanket, feel no fear. You drift in a quiet so vast, it hums with a promise. Even in darkness, something endures. Black holes rule. Now the only giants left are black holes, the great devourers. Stars once fell into them, whole clusters pulled into their depths. They merge, growing more massive, more silent. Over unimaginable time, even black holes evaporate, a slow hiss of energy called Hawking radiation. It takes longer than all the time since the Big Bang. So long that your mind can only brush against it, like fingertips across silk. And when they are gone, no light, no stars, no galaxies. Only thin particles drifting through darkness. This is heat death, a hush so complete, it feels almost holy. The gentle drift of entropy. Physicists say entropy always grows, disorder rising, energy spreading out until nothing useful remains. But in that endless dark, tiny quantum events still flicker. A lone proton might decay. A particle might pop into existence, then vanish. A universe made of echoes and whispers, faint ripples of what once was. You might think this sounds lonely. But as you lie here, breathing softly, you know, the story is not just the ending, it is every spark that came before. The warmth in your chest tonight is proof the cosmos once burned bright. Rebirth or forever quiet? Some theories say this is the final curtain, a dark, frozen forever. Others imagine a different twist. Perhaps new universes bubble up from the vacuum, tiny inflations, new big bangs igniting in the dark. Perhaps black holes birth new universes inside themselves, each singularity a secret seed. Or perhaps the universe collapses in on itself, only to explode outward again. An eternal cycle of expansion and rebirth, like a cosmic heartbeat. You do not need to choose which is true. You can rest inside the maybe, the beautiful not knowing. You, the everlasting story. Tonight you lie wrapped in all these possibilities. A mind soft as stardust, warm in the infinite dark. You are not separate from this story. You are a page in it. You are its question and its answer, its beginning and its end. Your atoms once burned in ancient stars. One day they will drift through a frozen night, carrying your quiet memory. In this vast timeline, you are both moment and eternity, a spark that remembers the fire. So breathe in, breathe out. Where does it end? Perhaps it never does. Perhaps it always begins again. The observer's paradox, consciousness and the infinite. The tiny world. Imagine you shrink smaller and smaller, past cells, past molecules, down into the realm of the quantum. Here, particles flicker like fireflies, here then not here. Spinning in two directions at once, dancing through walls they should not cross. It is a place where certainty dissolves. A place where reality waits, until someone looks. The double-slit experiment, a beam of light, a screen, a choice. When no one watches, light acts like a wave, spread out, multiple paths at once. But when measured, when seen, it collapses into a single point. Observation changes what is. You drift through this idea like a feather. What if the universe, at its deepest level, depends on the eyes that look? Schrödinger's cat. Picture a box in your mind, dark, sealed tight. Inside, a cat, a tiny bit of radioactive material, a vial of poison that breaks if the material decays. If no one checks, the cat is both alive and dead, both possibilities wrapped together. Open the box, and the universe decides. A thought experiment, yes, but one that stirs the mind like a gentle breeze through tall grass. It asks, is the world there when no one sees it? Or do we bring it into being by noticing? Tonight you lie here, the observer and the observed, wrapped in a paradox soft as a dream. The mind's soft gaze. Your brain, this fragile tangle of neurons, is made of the same stardust that forms stars, planets, galaxies. Yet somehow, these atoms arrange themselves into awareness, a soft flame that can look back at the stars and wonder. Some thinkers call it the hard problem. How does matter become mind? No telescope can answer this, no particle accelerator can pin it down. And so you drift through this mystery. Your thoughts, like quantum particles, flicker in and out, memories, sensations, the hush of your heartbeat. Is your mind just chemistry? Or something more, a window the universe uses to look at itself? The anthropic whisper. Some physicists puzzle over this. The universe seems finely tuned, balanced just right to make life possible. Gravity, strong enough to hold stars together, yet weak enough to let planets form. Atoms stable enough to build everything from your eyelids to the rings of Saturn. Dark energy, quiet enough that galaxies can still spin. If any of these numbers were different, you would not be here to ask why. Is it just chance? Or do we exist because the universe must allow observers to exist, a cosmic whisper that says, you are here because you can wonder. You breathe in this gentle riddle. You do not have to solve it. You only have to drift inside it. The mirror of awareness. Some traditions, old as the first fires, have always believed the mind shapes reality. In ancient temples, monks sit cross-legged, eyes closed, seeing galaxies in the still lake of their thoughts. Some modern thinkers echo this. Perhaps consciousness is fundamental, not an accident of matter, but the source. A universal mind, dreaming us all. Or perhaps there are countless small sparks, each flame a single awareness. Yours, mine, all life drifting through this cosmic night. You are one tiny mirror in an infinite hall of mirrors, each reflection wondering at itself. Dreams within dreams. When you sleep, your mind spins worlds, forests, cities, lost loves, new lands. You wake, and they fade, yet the feeling lingers. What if the universe is like this too? A dream within a dream, observation weaving the pattern. Particles drift in possibility, until you look. Galaxies swirl, until you measure. Time marches, until you remember. You do not need to decide if it is true. The comfort is in the drifting, the maybe. The gentle drift. Tonight you lie under your blanket, stardust formed into eyes that can gaze back into stardust. You are the observer. You are the paradox. You are the universe looking at itself, and in your quiet mind, all things rest. Where does it end? Perhaps it does not. Perhaps it only waits for you to open your eyes, and dream it all back into be. So drift deeper. Your heartbeat is the soft tick of the cosmic clock. Your breath is the hush of a particle deciding where to be. Sleep now. The universe is watching you, and you are watching it, forever and ever, in gentle wonder. The human story, how we tell the infinite. The first fires. Long before telescopes and equations, there was only this. A circle of faces, a flame at the center, the endless night pressing close. Look back, thousands of years ago, at our ancestors beneath the sky with no city lights to dim its glitter. They tilt their heads, eyes wide, spinning tales that make sense of what they see. A hunter chases a bear across the stars. A trickster god steals fire from the sun. A weaver sets her loom in the Milky Way. Every flicker of flame is a heartbeat, every spark a thought. What are we? Why are we here? Where does this all go? You sit in that circle now. The stories slip into you like warm smoke, curling into your dreams. The written sky. Then came ink. Reeds dipped in soot and oil, words pressed into clay, lines carved on stone. On every continent people scratched the sky onto parchment. Star maps on animal hide, celestial calendars etched into tomb walls. Egyptian priests watched Sirius rise to flood the Nile. Mayan astronomers mark Venus's cycles with careful dots. Babylonian scribes record eclipses, reading the future in the darkening sun. Each record a promise. We see. We remember. We try to understand. Tonight you lie here, one mind in a long chain of watchers, your heartbeat echoing theirs. Myths and constellations. Look up at Orion, the hunter, his belt a bright sash across winter's sky. To the Greeks, he's a hero. To the Lakota, he's the bison. To the Egyptians, his belt aligns with the pyramids, a mirror of heaven on earth. Stars burn the same everywhere, but the stories we weave shape them into something ours. You whisper the names under your breath, Ursa Major, Draco, Pleiades. Each one a breadcrumb trail through the night. These names will outlast you. They have already outlasted empires, languages, entire civilizations. In them, you are never alone. Poets and dreamers. Centuries pass. Scrolls give way to books, ink-stained fingers to printing presses. The cosmos slips into poems and songs. Dante's spheres, Milton's angels, Shakespeare's moonlit sonnets. When the first telescopes crack the heavens open, poets sigh with wonder and fear. The stars are not perfect orbs of divine light. They are rough, cratered, drifting worlds. The earth is not the center. We spin in a cosmic dance, a speck adrift. Yet our words grow richer. We do not shrink in our smallness. We expand in our capacity to marvel. Tonight you drift through this library. 1,000,000 pages, each a candle lit against the dark. Science and stories. Some say science killed the magic. But you know better. Every equation is a kind of poem, every diagram a myth in disguise. Newton's falling apple is a fable. Einstein's bending space-time is a bedtime story for grown minds. Hawking's black holes whisper of monsters at the edge of light. When we say the universe is expanding, we speak like storytellers. Space itself breathing, stretching, dreaming bigger dreams. You are part of this. Each fact you learn is another line in the longest story ever told. The digital campfire. Now, drift to the present, to the glow of a screen in a dark room. Here you are, eyes soft, scrolling through the night's questions. How old is the universe? How many galaxies? Does it ever end? The internet is a new fire circle, billions of us trading myths at light speed. We share blurry photos of distant nebulae, black hole simulations, quantum riddles. We make memes of Schrödinger's cat, laugh at equations we half understand, watch videos that lull us to sleep with the hush of stars. We are not so different from the first storytellers. Our stories glow blue now, but the questions are the same. The gentle drift. So lie here now, soft, warm, eyes closed. Inside you are all the stories ever told. The hunter in the stars, the cat in the box, the quantum dream, the cosmic web. Your heartbeat is a poem. Your breath is a line of verse drifting through the infinite. Where does the story end? It doesn't. Every night you look up, you write another line. Every time you wonder, you light another fire. So rest. The human story is not finished, and neither are you. The personal cosmos, finding your own infinity. The quiet mirror. Lie here now, warm and still. Above you, galaxies swirl, billions of suns drifting through endless night. Inside you, something smaller swirls too. Blood in your veins, neurons firing, a hush of chemical starlight. Your body, this fragile shape, is a mirror for the cosmos. The iron in your blood was forged in ancient supernovae. The calcium in your bones once drifted in the belly of a dying star. Your thoughts are the dance of atoms that have traveled for billions of years. Tonight, feel that echo. Your chest rises and falls like a tide. Your pulse hums with the same rhythm that spins galaxies on invisible strings. You, tiny, dreaming, are the universe seeing itself. Small infinities. Infinity doesn't always live in distant stars. It lives in your daily rituals, the quiet coffee steam rising, the hush of dawn through your window. It lives in the moments you laugh so hard your eyes water, in the softness of a friend's voice, the warmth of a touch. These are your small infinities, moments that expand inside you, timeless and free. Tonight you float through them like stars in a dark sea. Every heartbeat a portal, every breath a new sky. The cosmos in your senses. Your senses are tiny telescopes. Taste, the salt on your tongue is the memory of ancient oceans, the echo of stardust dissolved in rain. Smell, the scent of rain on warm earth is petrichor, tiny molecules rising from stone, an ancient promise that life always returns. Sight, every photon that touches your eye has traveled unimaginable distances, carrying the signature of stars long gone. Touch, your skin is a boundary, but it is also a bridge, a reminder that you are connected to the air, the warmth of a blanket, the pulse of the world beneath your fingertips. Tonight, rest in these sensations, a universe woven through your own skin. The thoughts that drift. Let your mind wander, the thoughts that drift in and out like distant comets. Old memories, a childhood treehouse, the hush of waves on a summer shore, a first kiss under a street lamp. Hopes, things you long for, futures that flicker like distant galaxies you might visit one day. Regrets. Soft shadows that slip by, teaching you how to let go. Each thought a tiny orbit, looping, spinning, never quite lost. Tonight you do not have to fix or change them. You just watch, a gentle astronomer of your own mind. The quiet web. You are not alone in your infinity. Just as galaxies gather in clusters, people gather in invisible webs, families, friendships, strangers who brush by in the night. Think of every person you have ever loved, their laughter a star that still shines inside you. Think of those you've lost, their memory a faint, steady light on the far horizon. Every connection, every kindness, every goodbye, all threads in your personal cosmic web. Tonight, let those threads cradle you, soft as silk, strong as gravity. The secret stars. Some cultures believe every person has their own star, a spark that glows brighter with every good deed, every moment of wonder. Look up in your mind's eye and see yours. A tiny star, warm and gentle, drifting with you through this endless dark. No telescope can find it, yet you feel it, pulsing behind your ribs. Your secret star reminds you, you are here, you matter, you are stardust that dreams. The gentle drift. And so you drift now, between galaxies and thoughts, old stories and new dreams. Your body rests, but your mind floats outward. Into forests you will visit, books you will read, laughter you will share, tiny kindnesses that ripple across decades. Where does your infinity end? Perhaps it doesn't. Perhaps you carry it with you, in your breath, your heartbeat, your smallest moments. So close your eyes. Feel the starlight in your blood, the hush of galaxies in your pulse. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sleep now, you, the keeper of your own gentle, endless universe. The forever question, holding the mystery. The oldest question. Long before equations, before telescopes, before stories carved in clay, there was only this. Someone looking up, feeling small and wide all at once, asking the question that has no edge. What is all this? We think we want answers, neat and tidy. But the universe doesn't tie its ends in bows, it spills out in ripples, like circles in a pond. Tonight, let the question rest on your chest like a smooth stone, cool and comforting. Where does it end? Perhaps it never does. The paradox of knowing. Every time we learn something new, another secret of light, a whisper of quantum possibility, a glimpse into a black hole's heart, the edge of our not knowing grows too. The more you see, the more you know you do not see. It's a beautiful paradox. Your mind stretches like space itself, forever expanding, forever unfinished. You do not have to know it all. You only have to wonder. Mystery as a gift. Think of the greatest stories you've ever heard, the myths, the poems, the bedtime tales. How many of them end with every thread tied up, every riddle solved? Few, if any. A good story leaves a door ajar, a soft echo that hums in your bones long after the fire burns low. The universe is the greatest story of all. Its plot twists through gravity and stardust, black holes and quantum dreams, your own heartbeat in the dark. And like any story worth telling, it leaves you a question to hold against your chest. Your place in the unfinished. Tonight you lie wrapped in that question. You are not outside the mystery, you are inside it. Your eyes are lenses. Your thoughts are ripples. Your dreams are tiny universes, blooming behind closed eyelids. You do not have to solve the cosmos, you are the cosmos, wondering about itself. Isn't that enough? The gentle drift. You drift now through the echoes of all you've heard. The cosmic web, the bubble universes, the black holes whispering at the edge of time. You drift through ancient firesides, myths that stitched constellations together, poets who wrote stars into their verses. You drift through your own small infinities, laughter, breath, dreams that stretch past dawn. Some questions follow you like friendly ghosts, soft as lullabies. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Does it ever end? Tonight you need no answer. Only the hush. The forever lullaby. Imagine the question itself as a lullaby. A quiet tune that winds through the galaxies and your own pulse. Imagine that every time you breathe out, you send a piece of that question drifting into the night sky. And every time you breathe in, you pull a tiny bit of starlight back into yourself. A forever circle. Wonder out, mystery in. The universe hums to you in your sleep. You hum back, even if you don't know the words. The endless night. There is no final edge, no end of the map where dragons wait. Only more stars, more thoughts, more dreams waiting to be dreamed. And you, so small, so vast, are woven into it all. So sleep now, stardust and questions wrapped in a warm blanket of hush. The universe expands, and so do you. Where does it end? Perhaps it never does. And that is its gift.